Tasmania offers a really diverse anaesthetic practice, and certainly I'd say that the Royal, it's big enough that you can do whatever you want really as an anaesthetist, but it's small enough that you can still feel connected to the whole clinical community, and you're always running into people that you know. You develop relationships with people over many years, and that makes it a really satisfying place to work.
It's great as a consultant member of staff to get a really broad range of patients that you can care for every day, from look after lots of little babies like neonates right through to the 90-year-old sick elderly patients.
This training program in this state forces the trainees and forges them to become an anaesthetic consultant or fellow that is very much a generalist, and by doing that and by being able to make all their trainees do every single sort of specialty after the 4 years, it teaches them a really strong sense of adaptability.
With constant exposure, we don't do sort of one block of peds or one block of obstetrics. We're constantly exposed to all specialties, so it's kind of a very circular learning pattern.
The other thing about Burn is the variety. I never have 2 days that are the same. We do such a range of things here, and you have to be relatively comfortable being a bit of a jack of all trades.
I love working in Launceston because it is a regional hospital, but we get exposure to all specialties. I think there's a slight misconception that we're a small country town, but we actually do quite a lot of major surgery, including upper GI surgery. We have some subspecialties that anyone can dip their hands into.
So I think Launceston is a nice sized town, but also a nice sized hospital. It's got a combination of complex clinical care as well as a balance of size. That means that everybody.
Training in Tassie is quite a special thing in some ways. The Tasmanian Anaesthetic Training Program has been in action now since 2009, and it's one of the few, arguably actually the only rotational training program that is one program for the whole state, all trainees, and that's very unique.
Quite a good statewide teaching setup that they have for both the Part 1 and Part 2, and because everyone sort of worked throughout a couple of different hospitals in Tassie, generally all the consultants who do the lectures know who you all are, and just makes it a bit easier, and it's a good sort of size group for learning and interaction.
You get a bit more independence, you get to spend a lot more time with the same bosses, and so you get to practice a bit more independently but safely because they know your limits a bit better.
I was exposed to varieties of specialties or cases at the start of my training, so we didn't have too many major procedure, for example, liver transplant or organ transplant kind of procedure. I don't think I was in any disadvantaged position or thing like compared to a major centre.
We also have a lot of, good interactions with our trainees. There's a smaller number of those, and that allows us to know them fairly well, give them really positive and good support.
We've always had a really strong relationship with the Australian Antarctic Division, and we help to prepare those people to go down and work in remote environments. We also have a really strong global outreach program for many decades. Anaesthetists from our department have been going to Vietnam, Laos, Namibia, and that often attracts trainees who want to come here and want to give something back to the global anaesthetic community.
The department's very, very supportive. There's a good welfare program, good mentor program.
We try and care for our staff and look after each other as a high priority, and I think everyone enjoys working in our department because it's so collegial.
The teams in theatre are people that you work with day in and day out, so you're familiar with everyone in that team, and this really comes together, especially when we're in crisis situations.
The STP program, or Specialist Training Program, has brought some great opportunities to Tassie. We've been able to grow and build the way we use that additional funding capacity. So we use it to support training positions, but very importantly and uniquely, we're able to use it through the Tasmania project, which is a little group of STP, to support supervisor and coordinator positions, and also an admin support position to look after our trainees.
The supervision and the bosses here are excellent without a doubt. They're excellent people and they're excellent consultants to learn from.
The lifestyle's great because you can, still work in a tertiary centre, but still have, access to the big four of beaches, mountains, food and wine.
It's geographically beautiful. The outdoors is wonderful. We've increasingly got this awesome sort of food and wine culture and a boutique arts and theatre scene and music.
Hobart is such a beautiful city to live in. It's right size. The traffic is great. Unlike living in Metro Centre where you spend like hours in traffic. My commute time probably 10 minutes. Walking time to the hospital, that's great.
The local area includes a whole lot of bushland and the gorge, which has a whole lot of natural features where people can do paddling and rock climbing, trail running, and lots of mountain biking.
Your children get to enjoy the extracurricular activities that they want to do, and they can be involved in more than one in a day. It's a great place to live if you're a foodie. It has a great restaurant and bar scene. Being from Malaysia, that's a big plus for me.
If you like the great outdoors and if you like spending your weekends rock climbing or walking or snorkeling, anything like that, being outdoorsy, this is undoubtedly one of the best places to be.
I always feel like coming back to Tasmania feels like home now. It's a community where I feel like I'm always seeing people I know. It feels like it's never too far to get away out into the country if you want to go bushwalking or camping.
That sense of home, that sense of belonging, that sense of being part of a community in a beautiful place.